Hello, hello, Speed Gamers. Quick last minute ad for commentary here. It is I, Captain of the Orcs, and we also have the illustrious Lukey Pookie here.
Illustrious. Man, I need to get you to introduce me to more things. I like that.
That's good. Yeah, I'll be your personal introducer from now on. Meanwhile, we have patorikku13 and leggystarscream. Looks like we're off to the races here. Two very formidable opponents going to battle it out today on Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster.
There we go. Now we're on the right screen. Now we're gunning. All right, pretty exciting Patorikku and leggystarscream. Both great racers, both really talented. Really excited to see what they bring out today. We start the race, as always, with this nice minute and 56-second long unskippable cutscene where we talk about how bad everything is, as things are often pretty bad at the beginning of Final Fantasy games. But in this game, they are just as bad. All the crystals, no more shiny. All the fiends, very meany. And it's up to us. Unfortunately, the bridge is out, so we can't even leave. Who knows how we got to this town in the first place, but now that we're here, the bridge is down. We can't even leave. We're going to be trapped here for the foreseeable future. We're going to have to figure it out, though.
Alright, so we're going to start off here. I believe both runners are opting for the Warrior Monk double Black Mage build, so we're going to buy some things here for our Warrior. Going to pick up those Thunder Spells for our Black Mages, Thunder Spell being very useful here in the early game, and head on over to talk to the King to see what we can do, being newly spawned beings in this land.
This is one of the like race deviations that I'm always the most curious about. The question is, when do you sell your shirt? At the beginning of the game, you take off the warrior shirt, you take off the monk's shirt. Monks have more defense and more attack power when they're basically naked. And then you can sell all of that for like, what, 16 gil total, all of your stuff?
Yeah,
so
very
when do you sell
minimal.
it? When do you sell it? I think Patorikku sold it right to the armor shop. It really doesn't matter. It's just something I'm always curious about. We're going to get our first random encounter right about here.
And I would assume that these ones here are just two beautiful encounters, seeing a single Goblin Guard, two Wolves. Two Wolves going to put Patorikku a little bit closer to that level 2, but that Goblin Guard being much quicker on the kill for Leggystarscream.
Luckily, both of them get the random encounter pretty far into their steps, so they don't get that second Chaos Shrine. That can really ruin you. You get something that poisons in Chaos Shrine, it can be painful.
Yep, some poison here, or I mean, you can even get a good encounter. We can get Simple Gigas or Crazy Horse or something just easy to kill. Getting up to level 2 is also a possibility before Garland with that second encounter. So it's kind of a toss-up, but if you do get that second encounter, one thing is for sure, you are going to lose time on the Garland split, as both Garlands go down.
Yeah, and with no casualties, a big hit onto the monk for Patorikku, but as long as he doesn't go down, he's going to get the XP, going to get to that level 2. His first strong HP up. We need lots of HP. That's kind of our big threshold to beat the game. We're looking for HP already, from the get-go.
I believe the age-old question, Lukey, or Pookie, how do you prefer to be addressed here?
Oh, I go by anything. Lukey, Pookie, Lukey Pookie G, LG, LPG. We can go by Luke. That sounds more professional.
Oh, okay. All right, Luke.
Oh God. Well, it sounds uncool when you say it like that.
So, tell me, how much HP is the proper amount of HP that we want to see here?
Right, easy peasy. For your black mages, at the end of the game, you're gonna want to have over 240. That's sort of the baseline that we look for. For the monk, anywhere from 350 to 399 or over 400. That is what we're looking for. Optimally, you'd have exactly 399.
I was
A lot of
expecting
reasons for that.
the more answer we've heard a few times without this tournament, but a very technical answer. There, I love it.
I like to be perfectly optimal. See, the thing is, near the end of the game, you're gonna buy some Giants tonics. You can buy 3 of them usually, and those give you 200 HP per use for the fight that you use them in. If we buy 3 of them, that's 600 HP. The max health is 999. So if you have even a single point over 399, that's suboptimal. Though I guess getting to the 999 is important. And any extra health you have at the start of the fight is going to help you get through Chaos's first 2 rounds. We have another unskippable cutscene here now that we're finally allowed off of this island.
Yep, they just built up the bridge on the supplies that I guess we can only assume were just sitting there, as how fast they were able to build that bridge.
Everybody was real sad about the princess being kidnapped. They didn't want to work, and I don't blame them.
I think the one thing I'm worried about here is OSHA violations. Because they were just working out of open water, no safety gear.
I didn't see a harness.
Not a single harness, not a single safety net. Whew.
How long is this cutscene? It was like
This
a minute 30?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So normally you get to the bridge, we're looking somewhere around the 6-minute mark. We usually get released somewhere around the 7:45-minute mark. Minute and a half, minute 45.
None of these cutscenes are skippable, but they're all kind of front-loaded. There's going to be one a little bit later, but most of them are right here. Unfortunately, right here is where most of the resets when you're going for personal best runs happen, so you do watch this text a lot, and I'll be honest, I have no idea what it says.
Well, as it says right on the screen, the time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. Now you know.
That's one line. Maybe a few more resets and I'll get them all memorized.
All right.
Unfortunately, no resets for today.
Nope, no resets for today as we see our first bridge encounters.
Oh, patorikku. Oh, good flea though.
Yeah, first turn flea is always nice to see, especially since it is a 9-pack. Not going to be really optimal to kill and has a chance of killing you since it just takes so long.
Hate to see worms too. Kind of bad all around. Worms hit real hard.
Then we got crazy horses here on leggystarscream. Both encounters hitting pretty hard, but decent for experience here for this walk. We are wanting to see that very good level 4. 2 things going to happen on that level 4. Our monk and fighter are going to hit harder, and our black mages are assured a good HP up.
Right, we're going to need those at level 4. We're going to fight some pirates here in this next town of Provoca, and level 4 is going to make sure that everybody kills them in one hit. Ooh, we get the trail mix for leggystarscream. Ooh, and a black mage goes down.
Probably the tale of 2 cities here. You got patorikku. The warrior goes down, which isn't as bad as the black mage is going down because it doesn't really need a lot of good HP ups. He still has to revive it here for this fight, but those ogres being very good for experience, very good for gil, a very nice experience share between the monk and black mages.
Yeah, that is a good point. The warrior, we don't need a lot of levels on, honestly. The more levels the warrior gets, just the worse it is, honestly. Because it means we're just not getting as much XP onto the other guys. Where those are the guys, as we said before, they need all the HP we can get them. You see, Leggy Starscream, that trail mix, huge group, loses the Black Mage, and it just takes so long to kill them all.
Meanwhile, here on Patorikku, we can see that we are level 4 here. A big tell is that 50 HP. We can get it beforehand, but it's pretty much the thing we want to look at here is that warrior and the monk are one-shotting everything. If they weren't level 4, there's a chance they could low roll, and making this fight take quite a bit. That warrior proved me wrong and low rolling anyways. Love it.
Well, he's level 3 because he died in that fight, so there you see exactly why we want to get that level 4 for him. Both of them grabbing the temper first off before they jump in here, and then we get everybody up, and Leggy Starscream's starting the same fight. Patorikku gets a boat.
So that boat now, we're able to go on our world cruise and travel the world, see a lot of sights, meet a lot of new people.
Yeah, that pirate captain wasn't going to use the boat anyways. We killed his entire crew for basically no reason, so might as well give us the boat.
Yep, the one of the biggest reasons why you can't do a pacifist run is if you don't kill the pirates, you don't get the boat. You can't leave.
To be fair, everybody in this town is real sad about the pirates being around. So I guess it's for the best. Good starting fight for Patorikku. Ooh, we'd love to see that.
Yes, 5 Buccaneers, the best shot-for-shot remake of Here's Some Money.
All we care about right now on this little boat ride is XP and gil. That's all we care about. And these guys, 120 gil a pop. That's 3 potions, and we're going to need some potions. What would you say? So we're heading to Elfheim now. We'll make a quick stop in Cornelia for Patorikku. Oh, he'll force one more fight to get rid of his charges. What are you looking for on your way to Elfheim?
Oh, I like to take a lesser approach here. Don't need a lot. I know some people really like that double Thundara, but I mean, give me 1 Buccaneer fight of 5 count, and I should have enough cash. We're looking for somewhere around 15 to 1600 gil at the very least once we reach Elfheim. That will give us a 1000 cost Thunder charge, give us a 100 cost in-visit, and then the remainder we can spend on antidotes and potions.
We see Leggy Starscream going back to Provoca, took a bad fight and decided, you know, doesn't have enough health to make the trip, but now she gets the Buccaneers fight pretty good. Here in this fight, what's your thought process? You think you just Thunder? Because right now, you're taking, you know, 2 hits on everything. They do have the tempers. Do you ever use the tempers early on in the boat?
Oh yeah, I love the temper strat here. So the temper strat, thunder strat are going to take you the same amount of turns to accomplish. The only difference here is if you temper round 1, we can have those black mages defend for the other 2 rounds, keeping them relatively safe. Compared to if they are thundering, they're taking that full amount of damage should they decide to be hit. They could always evade, but I find that my black mages just enjoy being punched in the face sometimes.
They do. There is a difference in likelihood to be punched here. What are the percentages for our group?
So the game's based around the thought of you're going to have something nice. It autofills that warrior, I believe, in the first slot. So it's already given that away to you. 50% chance of a single target to hit that first slot, which is our warrior in this case. 25 for the monk. Defaults to a thief, if you caught the beginning of this broadcast. And then the last 2 slots, which it auto made us to white mage and black mage, we changed to black mage, black mage, are 12.5. Should any of those characters go down, it does re-roll that position. So you can expect the statistics there to proportionally redistribute based on that. So just having something up in the first slot is going to take the majority of the hits. If someone does die, let's say the first slot dies, we might see the monk move up there, for example, just to keep the odds of being hit in the top 2 slots.
We are seeing some pretty crazy fights on the ocean. Usually, when I play, all I get are Sahagan, which aren't worth anything. But you get these, you know, ocean trail mixes and a bunch of Buccaneers, and you're feeling good. If people stopped dying.
Yep. Very scary, some of these fights, such as when we're seeing on Leggy Starscream, the 3 Sahagin Chief, 2 Sharks. Those Sharks giving out a lot of experience, though, as well as the Chiefs. Chiefs giving out a lot of money. So, besides the $5 and maybe even the 3 Buccaneers, this is actually more gil than the 3 Buccaneers, but a lot riskier. But it's going to give you a lot more experience. So, I mean, if you can pull it off, it's a very good one to take early game.
Like
Compared to
making it to Elfheim first, thanks to Patorikku taking a death outside of Cornelia.
Patorikku also taking a really bad fight there. We see the green Sahagins and the eyeballs. These fights, very low experience, very low gil. You do get some, so it gives you a couple extra potions if you do decide to take the fight, but I mean, these are probably the ones you don't want to see at all. If we can get Buccaneers all the way down, I mean, you're just sitting in gil by the time you get to Elfheim.
Okay, we see it. Antidotes, 5 antidotes, 11 potions for Leggy Starscream. I believe they only bought the 1 Thundara. Maybe not. They should have had a lot of money. Perhaps they got both.
We got Patorikku here, has almost 2,000, looking to buy 1 Thundar. We'll probably see a tent buy as well. It's what I'm hoping to see. It gives you a lot more leeway to take more fights. If you have 2 tents, even 3 tents, these fights here that Leggy is fleeing, I guess deciding to Thundar flee, you can take pretty much every single time, because you have that tent to tent up before Marsh Cave, after Marsh Cave, and just overall making it faster, getting more experience.
Yeah, we see Patorikku opting for the Defend Thundara, whereas Leggy Starscream going the Flee Thundara. Thought process there. Oh, Patorikku feels like he doesn't have enough money. Definitely gonna farm up a little bit more.
I think what Pat might be trying to do here is grab that double Thundara. I know he's had just terrible Marsh Caves. Getting more for that Thundara, getting some tents is really going to smooth out this early game.
Okay, Leggy did grab a tent. Opting not to use it, besides I have enough Thundara charges. You really just need, if you get the preemptive, at the bottom of this Marsh Cave. Okay, Marsh Cave, for context here. Okay, Marsh Cave, very dangerous. Everything can either poison you or crit you, and some things can poison you while critting you. So, very dangerous. Hard to get through, but we need to go to the bottom of this and grab a crown.
There's some correlation there. The more dangerous these fights are, usually the more experience or gil you're going to get out of them. So, wait, I imagine you're referring to are the scorpions, especially the 4-packs.
Yeah, those 4-pack scorpions. Oh!
Pretty bad. Compared to these gargoyles, scorpions are going to be a little bit better for experience, so you decide to clear them. So if you do have an extra Thundara, just to keep it safe, you might want to Thundara clear here. It's a very real option.
Yeah, I see most people usually run from everything, taking the double gray oozes and the double gargoyles are basically the safest to take. Pretty easy to kill. The gargoyles can really kill your black mages, but they're not going to do much to your top 2 guys. Everything else is kind of the danger of getting poisoned.
Getting some less ideal fights here. We're seeing probably one of the worst fights. Better on Gilks, there's a lot of things to kill here, but 2 big eyes. They can cast Gaze and stun lock 2 of your characters. Good turn order, they can stun lock everybody. So not exactly what we want to see here on Pat's screen.
No, especially losing that black mage, pretty much all the money's gone right there. This is going to be probably a reset for Leggy Starscream here. Already used the Phoenix down on the first floor, so doesn't have any other way to res these people. It's very expensive to res them in Elfheim, so just going to defend, let these Pisco demons kill her.
Yep, so in Pixel Remaster, we get the option of quick saving wherever we like, as well as auto saves every time we transition to a new room, which is very nice. So we have the option to just chill out this chest and take it as many times as we want. Pisco demons being the bane of our existence in Marsh Cave, essentially gatekeeping us from moving farther into the game.
Gosh, they're running it back, killing that warrior and then killing the mage again. Oh, we see an ether for Patorikku.
Etherby is very interesting. So Tents you can only use on the world map. Ethers we can use anywhere. So this gives him the option of using as many Thundara charges as he wants, and right before Pisco, you know, charging up to 1, maybe 2 Thundaras. So really just, I would say a safe strat if you don't have that double Thundara.
Here, everybody in chat should just be hoping for preemptive strikes on these Pisco demons. Anything less than you're feeling sad, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't help that that Black Mage only has 53 health. Most hits are going to, I mean, even on the Monk here, we're seeing into the 50s.
Decides to push for it. We'll probably return to title screen, do it again. Has the space, of course. I don't know if leggystarscream knows that they have the space. Patorikku is a bit behind, but, you know, a lot more resources to work with, definitely.
Yeah, Pat choosing to farm a little more. He's going to have a little more going for him. One thing Lakey could do here, which you might consider, is with that warrior up. If you have any more potions, buff it, get out, go back to Elfheim and res up. Kind of just, you know, resolving to let the Piscos kill you, but we can at least know that we're moving on with the game instead of having to keep resetting.
Oh, pushing for it, but no.
This could be the option, though. Maybe a no warrior run up to Astos.
I feel the problem is I feel like I'd do it if I had that Phoenix down left, but since they don't have it. Oh, they're going for it. I think they're agreeing with you. Absolutely. All right.
A little bit riskier with the warrior dead. The monk having a lot less defense. What? You know, it's still, you could still very much get up there to that. Black Mage on the bottom has 100 health. Monk has 100 health. We should be able to tank a few swipes.
Not those swipes, though. Besides, that's too much. But you see Patorikku taking this double Grey Ooze. These double Grey Oozes can hit pretty hard, but they're not going to poison you, and, you know, they're worth pretty good...
yeah, worth
good XP.
255 experience per Grey Ooze. Go down 1-2 hits. 1 hit if you're the monk, get a high roll. Really good bang for your buck here compared to the green slimes, which have high defense. You'd have to use some spell charges, but really not with your time, other than if you're trying to avoid these poison touches, as we see here. 1 green slime just gifts to Patorikku.
Yeah, it hits you for 1, but then that poison just stings the whole way. There's the preemptive for Leggy. We'd love to see it. We finally get it. It's just that Thundara is not going to roll for quite enough to guarantee a kill. Could kill some, but if you low roll, then these guys, again, as we've seen, hit pretty hard.
It's unfortunate there. The high roll did end up on the Pisco that already got hit. So we really want that Thundara to go off first. Chance to high roll, as we see on Pat's screen.
Unbelievable.
And allow all the extra hits to clean up. And just like that, we are neck and neck.
That just goes to show just like how different Pisco Demon can make your run. Usually it's a big resetter for personal best runs, obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're really wanting to be here somewhere sub 20, sub 18 even better if we can get here. But this is a race after all, so we don't get the opportunity to just keep re-rolling RNG for a good start.
Improvise, adapt, overcome. That's what leggystarscream's gonna have to do with this RNG. And hope that these Scorpions just totally destroy Patorikku.
Looks like Scorpion's taking a casualty on both sides. We see that warrior down and the mage down. Pat has a phoenix down though, able to bring that mage back up.
Leggystarscream decided to return to title, just back at the stairs where they just were. Not a huge time loss on that one, but good to have that warrior back. Doesn't want to lose it.
Yeah, we'll start to see the quick saves really come in handy here for Leggy, trying to make it out with as many team members. Gives the option of just resetting, as we see, just to get better RNG on the way out.
Patorikku out of Marsh Cave, possibly the most annoying dungeon of the entire run, in my personal opinion.
Oh, definitely. You have low charges, low health, low resources. It's kind of a gamble. I mean, we saw our runners have to spend a couple minutes just grinding, and so if you don't get an optimal setup going in, it can just eat away at your time.
Opting to flee here. It's tough to flee these big groups of wolves. They're not worth a lot of resources, but they're fast. They get a lot of hits in, and there's a chance you fail your flee. It just takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely where that extra tent would be if we have a Thundara charge. Gives us the opportunity to take out these larger packs, and not have to wait for the fleas to go off.
Now we're talking to Astos, the king of the elves. Oop, nope. Not the king of the elves, king of the dark elves, actually. Fooled you. We gave him the crown, and now he's mad.
I was definitely fooled there.
I've played this game probably 100 times, and every time he gets me. Two schools of thought on Astos. Thundaras or Tempers?
And even Temper strat, you have the option here of splitting your choice between that monk and the fighter. Astos can choose pretty much anything. We see sleeps, we can see darks, we can see slows. So what we really hoping to see is if we choose to split, then he doesn't do like a cast all. If you're choosing to cast on one person, that person is able to bring down the house on Astos.
Just really good luck for Patorikku on that Astos. Put some people to sleep and just nuke him from space with a thunder. Only 420 health on Astos, but since he's got Fyra and he can kill you and slow you and literally has the spell kill, he can be a real pain.
Oh, definitely. But getting that 250 from Pat, getting some more 100 shots look here from leggystarscream. I should be able to clear pretty well as long as we don't see those AoE elemental spells.
Our first try Astos is a blessing after the Pisco that Leggy has had.
No Mithril sword drops though. That's a real bummer.
I always get leather shields from pirates. I never get the Mithril sword from Astos. I feel like it's a run killer. Use up all my good RNG right there. I don't know about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the thought of the curse of the Mithril sword sometimes. Where those shields are very tangible. Save with that warrior just being able to block shots completely, saving you potions in the long run. It's like Pat's going to force an encounter before going in, probably to recharge some spell slots.
He
did 10 top coming out.
And he gets a green ogre.
Yeah, green ogre, also referred to as Groger sometimes, that ogre chief. You see that 690 gil right here on this fight. Better than the Buccaneers, but a lot more rare to see than the Buccaneer fight. So you're not really grinding for any encounters out here. You usually go back to the sea to hope for some Buccaneers.
Yeah, Patorikku with his luck today, kind of seeming like he's hacking into the Matrix.
That's had a lot of rough luck. Can't speak. A lot of rough luck in a lot of these races, especially in Marsh Cave. So it's nice to see him able to not have as much trouble today.
All right, for plot reasons, what has happened? We fought Astos, we killed him, and in his hand we found somebody's eyeball. We're going to sail across the inner sea to give it to some lady in a cave, and she's going to give us a 5-hour energy, and we're going to need that because the Prince of the Elves is a very sleepy boy.
Yep, this cruise ship that our pirate friend sent us on, nice scavenger hunt. Going trading items, searching for new things to find a way to get out of this inner sea area.
Yeah, it's like a swap meet where you start with essentially a marble, and you're trying to end with a bomb.
Whoa.
You just gotta keep trading your way up, man.
We're still in the part of the game here where we want to get more experience, more gil. Probably this next buy is the more important one. After that, it gets each buy after that gets less and less important as our items do keep. Usually from the last buy, we usually have a few left over. So this one probably one of the most important ones, as the only time where we will be quite far away from any way to heal or revive without going all the way back.
Yeah, I always think that the series of buys that we're about to see are some of the most interesting of the run, to see how people change and what they prioritize. Do they sell off that cottage that they picked up? That's 1,000 gil they picked up in Marsh Cave. Do they keep it? How many ethers do they run? How many gold needles do they pick up, or Phoenix Downs?
Yeah, so definitely a difference here. As chat pointed out, yeah, we're definitely here. Leggy taking the lead here. I think because Pat decided to take that extra encounter to be able to recharge up. Pat, I think, is doing a little bit better on Gil right now, so probably we'll see a little more. But I know that Leggy does not buy the Fyras.
Right.
So she should have about 2k more. That might even it up should Pat decide to buy the Fyras today.
Not buying the Fyras, not a choice I agree with, but since Leggy is so much better than me as a raiser, I'll keep it to myself, aside from that comment.
I mean, you could definitely get away with not having Fyra. It just smooths out the game. I think in a race scenario, it's very important to pick up, in this commentator's humble opinion.
At the same time, as you pointed out, Leggy probably behind on Gil, has lost a lot of time without gaining a lot of resources. So possibly thinks, that's not, I can't swing it,
Pat doing it something really interesting. Sorry to over-talk you. I'm trying to point it out real quick. Did you pick up on what Pat did right there?
You save some steps by going into town and leaving town?
Yep. So this game doesn't have a step count, but does have a number of steps that's predetermined that has a range, usually 25 to 35 here on the world map. So Pat kind of trying to jump over that encounter that we saw Leggy get by going into town, coming out, and teleporting back in closer to the entrance to the castle. I'm very much in favor of that move.
All right, we woke up the prince. He gave us a key, and now we're going to loot this storehouse in the back. Need the key to open that up. Oh yeah, same with Thundar fight. Buccaneers you'll always take. Buccaneers you'll always take, even when you don't need the 360 gil. It just feels wrong to leave them, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely early on it feels very bad. And I mean, we have 2 Thundars. It's going to be easy to clear. Even late on when they don't mean as much to us, because by mid-game, their gil is actually quite low compared to how cost-effective our spell charges become.
Patorikku forcing the extra encounter and getting the Buccaneers. That's what you'll love to see.
Yeah, nice extra 360 gil.
Leggystarscream picking up the nitro powder from Cornelia Castle. Why do the elves have a key to Cornelia Castle's explosive stores? We asking these questions.
I always find it funny that they have the key to this room that has some dynamite that could potentially blow up the kingdom.
It's crazy. They have the key to loot the elves, the Cornelian humans, and the dwarves. What's with this key? Do people just not get multiple keys?
It's pretty mystic.
All right, here's the cell.
Right, we're looking at a difference of about, whoa, close to 3,000 gil. Pat coming in with almost 12k, Leggy about 8. Usually you have about 8k here, so Pat definitely rolling in gil, being able to decide pretty much whatever he wants to buy.
Maxes out on potions before Earth Cave. That is the dream. Wow. And still has some money left over.
36 ethers. I believe 5 Phoenix Downs, 11 antidotes. Not gonna have a worry in the world going into Earth Cave. Has just everything you would ever want to have here.
think sold cottage, but bought tents. Feeling probably pretty great.
Yep, so for those you don't know, cottage or you can sell for 1,000. Buy for 1,000 here. Full restore for health, spell charges. Tents will give you 200 HP and 2 spell charges per. This early in the game, 2 tents are basically going to equal that cottage. You're just going to be spending an extra 6 to 8 seconds using that second one, so I mean, definitely a very valid choice to go in. Gives Pat a lot of world map revive opportunities.
Here are the dwarves. For our parties, yes, they are both running the fighter monk double black mage. Essentially, the whole premise of the run is that we just let the black mages carry us with their AoE spells through most of the game, and then for the last few bosses, we're just gonna get that monk to punch so hard and punch so fast that just breaks down all of the final bosses. A little bit of terraforming here, thanks to the dwarves. Give them that nitro powder we found in Cornelia. Because at the start of the game, we get that ship, but we're trapped in the inner sea, and there's no way to get to the wider world, and we're gonna need that. So, blow up this little land bridge, and we're free and clear. There are some cool things with this speedrun. The speedrun itself, very simple. Not a lot of, there's no like glitches, there's no weird and complicated tips and tricks. It is pretty straightforward once you know how to do it. Basically anyone can do it. It's a great run to do. So if you're interested, you know, there's a whole Discord for the SpeedGaming, a great community. Everyone's really friendly. And we were doing this tournament. Tournament's just a few more days of this tournament, I feel like. Sort of most of the races have been run, but we got a few more days still. We have this race, Patorikku and leggystarscream. And after this race, your two commentators are actually going to go up against each other right here in SpeedGaming 4. We see I'm grabbing a bunch of stuff from this dwarven treasure chest, but again, like pretty much all the treasure chests, we're going to take all these really nice items, like the dragon, the worm killer, and we're just going to sell it. We're just going to drop it on a table and be like, hey, what do you get for me this? Because I need some fire. I need some fire. I'm going to go fight Lich, and I'm going to need some Faragas to kill Lich. We come out here, we go to Melmond, the most depressing town in the world. Their main industry is just graves. But here we can pick up our Faragas. See leggystarscream going a bit up. She's going to go to this armor place, sell some stuff. She saved a little bit of money. So hopefully they'll have enough. Yes, indeed. We'll pick up 1 silver armlet. That's 4,000 gil. Put it on that weaker black mage. That's going to make... add a little bit of survivability. That black mage who's under 100 health. We're on our way to Earth Cave here. We're going to pick up the 2 Faragas. Gonna set your context, okay? For Earth Cave, we are going to go down, fight the vampire, kill the vampire, and then we have to leave because there's a big stone slab behind the vampire that we can't get through. So we have to leave. We have to go talk to an old man in a cave, and he's going to give us basically a crowbar so we can open up that stone slab. And then we're going to dive all the way back down in, and we're going to fight our first fiend, Lich, the Fiend of Earth. For Lich, here's what we're looking for. To beat Lich, we're going to need 6 casts of Faraga, and if our black mages do not have enough intellect, we're going to need 1 more cast of Fundara after that. In order to get 3 casts of Faraga, we need to be level 15. So you're looking for these black mages to hit level 15. That's important. The other thing we're looking for, jerk birds is what they're called in the community. Cockatrices. They start showing up on the 3rd floor. Little birds with stone touch. That's the main strategy of this speedrun, the little technique we do. We're going to turn our fighter and our monk to stone. The great thing about being stoned is that you can still be targeted by single target abilities, but they will always miss. You can never die, you can never take any damage, but you do still get to keep getting XP. So we will turn our fighter and our monk into the perfect tanks, while still leveling up the fighter for the monk for the end game.
Yeah, perfect Ferris Bueller situation here. Gonna be able to sneak out and just leave a doll in the bed to just pretend that he's here for the rest of the race for that fighter up top.
Actually, got a cassette player just taped to the back of this, stone statue. The things you're thinking about, we're grabbing the coral sword. Pretty good for our fighter. That's a big fight. What you're thinking about here as well, at least for Leggy Starscream, you're worried about your spell charges, your ether usage. You want to optimize it. How ether works in this game is 1 ether recharges 1 spell charge for every level of spells. So you really want to spread out how many of each level of spell you're using, right? Because you want your ether to give you the most amount of mana.
Yep, so those melee heads definitely going to help with that. We see some thunders being used. You don't see that a lot. It's usually a lot slower, but it's going to save us some charges. But I mean, ultimately, the best thing here is the AoE spells when we have multiple enemies. It'll work out here for this Hilgrius attack.
Insane. Oh my god, Patorikku gets the best jerk birds you can get.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible. So yeah, he got, I mean, I guess it would be better. Technically, it would be better if the jerk birds ambushed and first turned it. But, I mean, sometimes you struggle to even see these birds. And Patorikku, nothing but birds in this cave. Incredible.
Can be a little scary here if you don't have a lot of gold needles, but overall, yeah, definitely nice to see early. We're going to be able to save some potions, save some time menuing. But, I mean, now we don't have that option of using that coral sword or the monk hits if you do need them.
You want to high roll these Thundaras. I mean, using 2 Thundaras on 3 raids, that hurts. But I guess Patorikku's got more ethers than he knows what to do with.
Oh yeah, 36 coming in here has nothing to worry about. Usually, the low side, you're looking at 20. Some people taking 6 coming in here that just really know what they want to take. One great example is this fight right here. It's great for your money, great for experience. It will take a little bit, kind of scary, but overall, this is what you want to see coming into this cave.
Yeah, it'll always take 2 turns at least to get all of these ogres down. Pretty much all the ogres take 2 hits, but if you get them, then it's great for you. Leggy Starscream doesn't have the stone yet. Doing this split decision, flee or Faraga. Essentially, the idea is, if I get out with a flee, that's good. If I kill everything with a Faraga, that's also good. Just as long as I get out of this fight as quickly as possible. Just staring at Leggy Starscreams. You just don't even blink. You're waiting for it to hit that. And then the fighter dodges things, and it's like, come on, my guy. There it is.
There it is. I hate to see it too when you have that leather shield, if you have that still equipped, because the fighter can actually block some of these blows. So the downside is still having that leather shield on. But overall, a great encounter there. Seeing that monk go first. I love to see that monk go first in those petrify situations.
Meanwhile, Patorikku takes down Vampire real easy. We'll see Leggy do it right here. Not too dangerous. Can kind of roll bad, but pretty unlikely. Just 2 Faragas and the dude's dead.
Yeah, not much can go wrong in this one-turn fight. You have the fire. If you have Fire and Faraga can do the trick. So for the most part, pretty simple. Pretty much of a pushover boss. Dare to say, the easiest boss in the game.
Yeah, and that's tough saying, because I mean, Kraken exists.
Yeah, cracking can be quite easy as well. I think overall, since it's just a one turn, it gives up the ghost on that one.
You're not wrong. I'm inclined to believe it.
So what are we hoping to see here in the grand scheme of things for an Earth Cave?
Grand scheme of things, well, we've got our guys stoned. Perfect. Now we need to get these, as I said, Black Mages need to get to level 15, so they have the triple Faraga charges. And we're also looking for them to get some good health rolls. Lich can be pretty dangerous if you don't have enough health. Looks like Patorikku's rapidly approaching the perfect amount of health, but Leggy's going to need a little more.
Yeah, definitely not getting those HP ups we saw from another one of our runners, Hob. Just being almost 200 HP here at this point, which was just astounding to see.
What are we looking for? What do you like to have health on when you're going into Lich?
Lich ideally would want to be able to survive at least one of his spells. We're very unlikely to survive two. He can hit anywhere between 100 to 160 if he gets a nice high roll. So, I mean, being in the 180s is nice because that's also what we want to be going into Ice Cave. If we can get to 200 by now, golly gee whiz. I mean, the more HP we have, the better, but under 100 is a hard pass.
Oh, no.
And under 140 definitely starts to get tough as we see these larger group encounters, see ambushes on those as well.
Right, Blizzara from Lich will hit for basically a minimum of like 131, 132. So you really need to get over that so you can survive a round. So, luckily, Lich does a lot of things that are not AoE spellcasts. He can, you know, put people to sleep, he can hold, he can punch stoned people, which doesn't do anything. So there's a potential for free turns, and there's potential for very unfree turns. At least for me personally, I'm hoping free turns for both our runners.
Yeah, I always love to see those free turns on the bosses. Makes it really easy with these stone characters. Because those physical attacks, pretty much everybody, I believe, can physical attack. So that 50% chance, most everybody has at least a 30% chance to use a regular attack. So we're seeing good odds on if we do get attacked, it's just going to be a miss and a free turn.
In different versions of this game, the bosses have sort of set order of abilities. You know, if they do one thing, then they'll do the next, and they'll just move down this list. But in this version of the game, they have a list of things they can draw from, and they have a percentage chance to draw that ability, and they'll just keep rolling the dice. You never know what you're going to see. So we're just hoping for good RNG. Here in the overworld in this area, what are we looking for? Captain of the Dorks?
Well, we're looking for just nice leisure stroll of tigers and X potion drops.
4% chance of a drop of an X potion. That's a full heal from any of these lesser tiger fights that we get. Each lesser tiger itself, it's a 4% chance. Oh.
Well, you're telling me there's a chance here on Leggy's screen.
I'm telling you, there's a chance.
We have the tents to heal up the spell charges, but one thing you can do is Faraga into a thunder on those on the lesser tigers. But probably not really an issue here for Leggy, as we do have those tents.
Yeah, it's those little optimizations that you're like, is it worth doing this perfectly, or do I have enough spell charges to just absolutely overkill these tigers?
Definitely preferential here. I mean, if you already have everything queued up, that auto battle is going to save you a few seconds, not having to change it up every time. So,
let us not forget, we're racing here.
Oh, this is a race. Oh, wow. Well then.
All right, we found a star ruby behind the, a little late in saying this, we did find a star ruby behind the vampire, and we gave that to a big golem so he would get out of the way, and then we talked to this old man to get our crowbar.
Yep, we're gonna be grave robbers here, heading down further into this earth cave.
Ugh, goblins. Like a spit in the face goblins at this point. And Patorikku approaching for his final descent into Earth Cave. Has the cottage, drops it here. Full heal, full spell charges back. That's why basically this entire walk on the overworld is essentially free. You're going to have that cottage. Might as well just use it. So take as many fights as you can get, as much money, as much gil. Those are the same thing. As much money, as much XP as you can get, and then get ready for the second dive. Again, Patorikku's got more ethers than he knows what to do with. He's got plenty of room to kind of take every fight he wants to here. Opted to flee, besides make up a little bit of time, which, understandable. I saw Leggy Starscream just hit the level 14, so gonna need one more level on her black mages before she gets to the bottom of this cave. Patorikku opting to take the double hill guy. I guess a good choice to take that. A lot of gil, a lot of XP on that one. 879 for one of those guys. So
yeah, one of the best fights we could see, other than the ogres in here. So what's your favorite Earth Cave fight?
My favorite, I mean, I do like the 7-pack of ogres, but if I'm being honest with you, I do like the double minotaur, double troll. Just the colors make me feel happy.
Ooh, okay.
Now this fight puts me right to sleep on Patorikku's.
Not a fan of the mummies, huh?
Well, they've got sleep touch, so they'll literally push you to sleep. A little joke we make. Okay, well, no need to be like that. Hopping through here, through the 3rd floor. Gonna be 2 more floors after this, and there's what.
Yeah, so luckily both runners have their stone characters taking that break, but there is still a chance to get Cockatrices here on Leggy Screen all the way down through the 4th floor. So quite a bit of room in Earth Cave to get petrified, should you not. But I know some runners are very unlucky and don't see those birds at all, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, if you run this race, you know, the idea is that you really need these guys to be stoned. It just makes everything so much easier. You don't have to choose what they do, because what they do is stand very still and get hit by things. You don't have to worry about them taking damage and having to heal them. It just makes the run so much easier. But if you never see these cockatrices in here, then I guess you can just run in circles until you fight them. But there are other places where they will pop up, which we have seen throughout the race, but you'd love them here. They can, if they turn you all to stone, that's game over though. So gotta be, they are a little dangerous still.
A little dangerous. More we level up, the less dangerous they become. With that differential of odds on targeting different slots, it makes it a little bit easier to not get hit.
Patorikku gets stun locked.
Yikes. Yeah, these 9 packs of undead can be really, really bad.
Oh, good target selection though. You might get up. Come on, little guy. Come on, Meiji. Oh no.
So 1 in 4 chance of getting up from this stun. But keeps getting hit here. I mean, 9 chances to get hit compared to a 1 in 4. Not great odds for Pat here.
Even if he gets up, it's a time loss. Okay. Oof. Okay, just inside this floor, so not too bad. Not too bad. Not losing a lot of time. Our runners are back to being exactly even.
We have an item later on called the ribbon that will help with this greatly, but I'm not going to see it here for at least another 15 minutes.
Alright. Okay. Leggy gets the 15. So, fully prepared for Lich. Doesn't really need a lot of fights. You might want to... I like to get to 16 here. Every even level for the mages is going to give you a point in intellect. And once you hit that 30 intellect, which will be between 15 and 20, you start doing a lot more damage.
Yep, this game is definitely not straightforward in how your magic spells scale. For each point of intelligence, a little bit more damage, but every 10, we get quite a bit of an increase. So we start off with 20. If you start off with 20 on the black mages, if you start off with red mages, you're going to be quite a bit lower on intellect. At 30, we get that sizable boost, which we're going to see pretty much for the rest of the game. There's a chance towards the end of the game at reaching 40 intellect, and you'll definitely notice it. White sharks, which are usually a 2-spell kind of fight, once you reach threshold, suddenly become a 1-spell fight, which makes it a little bit easier going through Temple of Fiends should you decide to keep taking fights.
White sharks, bane of my existence, just so suboptimal. They have 344 health, and most of the Thundagas hit for 322. Just kill them, you know?
Yeah, but they're such good experience. It's one of those fights that, you know, sometimes you choose to take.
That's my problem. I like things to be beautiful, not efficient. Okay, we see him healing up a little bit. Leggystarscream taking patorikku taking one more fight before Lich here. We have the levels we need. Another thing that you want for the level 16 is that's when you get your first charge of Thundaga, which is going to be important to have going into Ice Cave. I mean, you need it. None of our runners level 16 yet. Taking the Lich fight. Let's hope for good RNG, everybody.
Lich being probably one of the fiends that's kind of annoying in his iteration here, and quite more annoying in his once we go back into the past. Here, he can swipe us for some physical damage. Not going to really do much. He can haste himself. He can cast... what's the other one? There's another cast, I thought. But what we don't want to see is that Thundara. Sleep and Hold, that's what it was. And slow. And slow as we see on leggystarscream. We want to see pretty much anything other than those elemental casts.
Easy for patorikku. Gets it down. Pretty good health on both of our black mages on both sides. Leggystarscream, first try. Easy done.
And probably one of the few times we see just keeping pace, both racers neck and neck at Lich 1.
Things can go so bad, but, you know, went pretty well for both of them. You know, put that skeleton back in the ground. We'll see him a couple yesterdays ago.
Yeah, just a couple. Yeah, a couple thousand.
All right, first fiend down. What's next?
What's next? I'm pretty sure Pat's gonna go for a little bit of a camping trip here before heading out to sea. Heading over to see some more sights. You know, I hear there is a pretty cool lake in the shape of a crescent to the west.
Are there any cool old men hanging out in the woods in this town, or?
There is. They have this weird shape that they're standing in. Most of them having quite a bit to say. One of them supplying us essentially with this big hunk of hollowed out wood that's going to allow us to find quite a bit of different items here in this race.
All right, here we see patorikku stopping off in Meltmont. He sells some stuff, buys 2 silver armlets, going to give him a little more safety on the river coming up. Leggystarscream, we know, bought 1 silver armlet before, sitting on that 148 black mage right now.
Yeah, with that extra silver omelet buy this late, it's gonna definitely put Pat behind for some buys. He does have a lot of items left over though, because he was able to buy heavily before. So it might not be too much of an issue, but I mean 2,800. Maybe with that coral silver buy will be a little bit more, but not as much as I would hope to see going into to buy those Thundagas and your items for this next stage of the journey.
Right. So here in the Canoe Town, as I call it, Crescent Lake's the actual name, you need 26,000 gil, 13,000 gil for a Thundaga, and you need 2 of those. You need them. You need this spell. We can argue about Fyra all day, but Thundaga you actually need for the rest of the game. So we need to get 2 of those, and then as many ethers, potions, a few Phoenix Downs will help, because Ice Cave can be pretty dangerous. We're not even supposed to go there yet.
This is definitely where those Fyras would come in handy again. Everything in the cave is susceptible to fire. Helps you save a few Firaga charges, so would help with some ether usage. But by now you have quite a bit of Firaga charge. You have that Thundaga. You don't really need Fyra, but it's always nice, especially if you're low on gil.
I feel like patorikku played pretty conservatively with his items in Earth Cave, so I think he's going to be sitting pretty here. Not going to need a lot more.
Yep.
Yeah, still got like 20 ethers?
Yep, 19 ethers. Was able to max out potions. Popping up to 33 ethers. How many antidotes? Or sorry, 10 antidotes. 3 Phoenix Downs. Still has 2 golden needles.
Yeah, while we see on the other side, Leggy basically having to buy everything right now. But because they didn't have to buy that extra silver armlet, they have the money for it.
Yeah, pretty much neck and neck here on items now. Leggy going a little bit less on the potions. Has a few more extra Phoenix Downs, but pretty much, I mean, all things equal, pretty much the same amount of items going into Ice Cave.
patorikku got to feel confident. Nobody on his team has died since the beginning of the game. You know, haven't had to use any of the Phoenix Downs they've gotten, so.
Yeah, having, what is that, 163 on that mage, nice to see. The monk's a little low, but the monk has quite a bit of good level ups to get where we want. So I would say in a good spot HP-wise. I think Leggy is almost there, one mage at 150. But kind of where we were hoping to see. There's enough required HP ups for these mages to get you into the 150s with all the small ones. So nice to see that we are not sitting somewhere around 100 HP on these mages.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little more. Before the end of the game, they'll both gain at least 60 more from guaranteed HP ups. So we'll have to roll at least 1 extra for that bottom mage, and then hey, probably the bottom mage is actually good just with the required ones. So at certain levels, there are sort of guaranteed points up in certain areas. In each level, you gain HP, but at certain levels, you gain what's known as a strong HP up. It'll roll between 20 and 25 additional HP, and it's different for each class. We have still 18, 26, and just 18 and 26, I guess, left for the black mage. So actually might be kind of a little close. We're gonna want one of those extra rolls.
And we're on to the river. The rivers, there's 2 of them in the game. Both of them have the same enemies. Going in right now, a little bit scarier, as there are a few fights here that can pretty much knock you out. Which fights do we hope are kind to us here, Pookie?
Well, these white crocs can crit you real hard and kill you. It looks like our runners do not have the 30 intellect yet. A single Thundaga kills a white croc, but if not that, then it's pretty dangerous. Those piranhas can be really dangerous. I like the, I never used to like this, but you turn me on to them. The Neochus. The Neochus. They're the only thing that's not, resistant to fire on the ocean or on the river, so save you some spell charges. Now, but they both get through, no problem. Goodness.
One thing you'll see in this game, you'll see a lot of the same drawings for characters. As you saw, the Ochus and Neo-Ochus basically taking on the same form, just different coloring. Different coloring and different names. We see higher HP, higher experience, and higher gil. So those Neo-Ochus are a lot more valuable than the regular Ochus, so always a good find there. Same as the white Crocs being a lot better than the regular Croc battles.
Almost triple as valuable for both of those. Here in Ice Cave, what are we worried about? What are we looking out for?
Well, we go ahead and look over onto Leggy's screen. She's probably was screaming there for a sec as we saw that Ice Storm come off of one of those white dragons, doing over 100, being under 200 HP here. If both decide to cast, that's a wipe, and very easy to take up your time, especially if you haven't saved halfway through some of these long floors.
Also, throughout this dungeon, we might see some dark wizards who can use pretty strong spells. I believe Aga spells, and they'll kill you if they get 2 check casts off. Oh, more dragons, but we get the preemptive. They go down in 1 Thundaga or 2 Faragas, so preemptive. No danger there. And there's also big groups of wolves I think are pretty dangerous. They all have their ice storms, which are weaker than the dragons, obviously, but if you get enough of them, they're still going to kill you.
Yeah, without the ribbons on, they're going to do about 50 damage. Maybe a little bit less than that, but if you see a 7-pack, they can definitely wipe you out here.
Most of what we see, as you can see from Patorikku giving a great example, most of the stuff in this ice cave is already dead. We just need to, help it along to that last little bit. And Faraga charge is going to be real useful for that.
Seeing on Leggy's screen, we were talking about Faraga charges, you need to cast 2. Once we reach that intellect threshold, 1 usually suffices. As we see, at least one of the mages on Leggy's screen has that 30 intellect.
Thank goodness. Here, a forced fight after you fall into a hole. We'll fight that fight twice. Used to be, in the other games, there were trap tiles. You'd step into a certain spot, and then you would always get a fight. Here, they changed it up a little bit, yeah?
Yep, we can actually see enemies blocking our way, that hooded figure. So we know we're about to face something compared to previously step on the tile. Here's an encounter.
Fortunately, it means we can't just step off that tile, step back on it over and over again. Ooh, dangerous fights on both sides. Oh, we get the Thundaga and okay, dark wizards. Both sides making me look like a worrywart.
Yeah, you can have runs where these are the worst thing to see, and other runs you get good turn order, and it's basically Experience City on you.
Ooh, low rolled it, so luckily that bottom black mage lives through the ice storm. I feel like I quick save more often in Ice Cave than anywhere else.
Not too bad of an idea. River's also a good one. Pretty much any long floor where you have a chance. Ice Cave's definitely one where you can have one encounter that can kill you. A lot of other places, it's a combination of just not healing.
That's the question you have to ask yourself. Anything in here, you go below 100 health, pretty much anything can kill you here in Ice Cave, but menuing to use potions and stuff, that takes time. So you're willing to risk the chance of maybe a fight going bad, or maybe not, or losing that time to menu maybe one more time than you need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's also even the question of, you didn't potion up somebody. Now, instead of that 40 gil potion, you have to use a 500 gil Phoenix Down and more potions at the end of the day. So sometimes it's worth spending 2 seconds to save, 15.
Both of our runners have picked up the Levy Stone. That's going to make the airship go burr. But we're going to have to go and dig it out of the sand first. And before we can do that, we got to get out of this cave.
Hope you brought your shovel.
I keep that thing on me, There are a lot of treasure chests here in Ice Cave that you can pick up. A lot of gil down south. A lot of items off to the side that you can sell. Our runner's opting to take very few of them, the ones that are just right there, and Leggy Starscream grabbing the 10,000 gil chest. Patorikku, I believe, grabbing nothing.
I think he's also getting probably one of the other encounters we didn't talk about, a 7-stack Pisco Demons. Silver Omelet's going to take a little bit off that here, but still can hit for 100 damage. Pretty close to that.
In other versions of the game, I hear, again, this is the only one that I've ever played, is the Pixel Remaster version, but I hear in other versions, you cannot run from that fight.
Yeah,
gotta
so...
hope your Thundara hits hard enough.
a lot of these earlier versions, you had unrunnable fights. I believe the only one I know so far in the Pixel Remasters that kept some unrunnable fights is Final Fantasy II. Having a lot of unrunnable fights, but only keeping 2 of them. I believe on 1 and 3 they took all of those out, so you can run from whatever you want. Except for bosses, of course.
Except for bosses, of course. Of course. Back to the river we go. The Ochu and the Neo Ochu.
Both runners deciding to run. Wow.
Yeah. Captain's a big fan of the Neo Ochu. Ochu, who cares, you know?
Yep. Pat deciding to take it this go around.
More Buccaneers. Again, not going to sneeze at 600 gil, but I mean, even now, look, Leggy, not even taking the fight. Not worth the time. Not worth the spell. Unfortunately, they fail to run.
Yeah.
So.
Personally, I would have chose, if you're choosing to fail, split decision that. 1 flea, 1 Thundara. I mean, you're going to take full damage from fleeing anyways. Might as well just hedge your bets there that you either get good turn order or a good flee.
Likely at this point, you're just, you know, the idea is you're either fleeing from everything or you're Thundara everything on this, because aside from Buccaneers, not really worth it. And you probably just go into all of these fights. They're not worth a lot, so you probably just auto it fleeing over and over again without really thinking about it too much.
I'm getting some really good HP gains. Gonna allow probably quick flees here for the majority of the game. Already seeing 240 on one mage, 221 on the other. The only thing remaining is the monk HP, which you could usually get away with somewhere around the low 300s. I know we want higher 300s, but I would say Pat's in a good place here. We might start seeing a lot of fleeing from him.
You ever buy a 4th Giant's Tonic if you're feeling like you need it?
Not usually. I do like the Tyrannosaur fight because he has a good chance of dropping one. But I don't know unless you pick up another Restore All. Maybe what Tiamat 1 you'd use it on. Other than that, it really doesn't have a lot of use unless you're really low on the monk.
Right. I mean, best case scenario, it'll give you like 100 extra HP. We see Leggy Starscream making some quick pit stops in the Dragon Isles to grab some full heals. Those are going to add a lot of safety.
Yep, hoping to see at least 2 full heals. I don't think either runner got that X Potion drop. So we'll get one on our way into Temple of Fiends. We have the option of getting a lot of gil here, as we see on Pat's screen. An X Potion and also an Elixir. Some runners decide to only get the X pot, some also go for that Elixir.
Now here's curious. Here's curious. Have either of our runners grabbed haste yet? Did I miss that?
I don't believe either have so far. I think they choose to use that early gil to basically give themselves a nice Earth Cave dive.
All right, then we're definitely going to see them both head back to Elfheim soon. I know Patorikku likes to... We're going to see a divergence here. So they're both going to head to Waterfall Cave. Definitely. Then they're definitely going to do Sea Shrine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I know Patorikku likes to do Merilith and then Tiamat, the last 2 fiends. I wonder if does Leggy Starscream also do Merilith first?
I believe I've seen Leggy do Marilith first.
All right. Usually I feel like a lot of our runners are Tiamats then Marilith. So it'll be interesting to see this. You know, usually when we say the Marilith versus Tiamat, Marilith then Tiamat, it's usually against the Tiamat then Marilith. So we lose this sort of understanding of who's in the lead for a little bit as they do these separate paths. But if they're both going the same one, then we're going to see them competing neck and neck for this whole time.
Yep. I mean, definitely fun both ways around. I personally like the divergence because, you know, it's like you don't know who's really in the lead until we get to back to the Chaos Shrine. But there's also something for them just being on the same screen at the same time the entire race that is just completely exhilarating.
Considering they both are in Waterfall Cave, an hour and 15 minutes in this run. They've been neck and neck for an hour and 15 minutes in a game dominated by RNG. So many things can go wrong, but they are keeping pace. The drama, the tension, it still remains.
I know Pat picked up the extra elixir. Did Leggy pick up the extra elixir by chance?
Leggy stopped at both, yes.
Okay.
Just grabbed the elixir though. Did not go for the cottage. I don't know if patorikku went for the cottage.
I think you picked up the cottage. That's not going to make too much of a difference. But yeah.
1,000 gil here and there. I mean,
gil.
if you're grabbing all of the chests, might as well grab all of the chests.
That's true. Very, very true.
We come to the Waterfall Cave because we need the warp cube from the robot at the end that'll allow us to get to the top of Mirage Tower and teleport out of it to the Flying Fortress. We also need our first very pretty ribbon.
Pretty ribbon, wizard staff, defender sword, previously called, I guess, the defense sword, which is kind of weird. I've always known it as the defender. But those extra two items are going to give us over 40,000 gil if we choose to sell them, which most likely we will. Allows us to get pretty close to our last buy of the game.
What are you going to need 40,000 gil for?
Well, I hear somebody found Navi. Link was looking for but we found it first. Going to be able to buy that bottled fairy, release it, and in exchange buy equivalent of essentially this water rebreather called the Oxyal.
Exactamundo. There's a caravan in the desert that is holding Navi hostage, and the ransom is exorbitant. We're going to see leggystarscream head there right now. The great thing about Final Fantasy 1 and its airship is that it can only land on clear plains tiles, and gosh, does this game like to hide those tiles.
Yep, better hope that your color cues on your monitor or TV screen are not off, or else it's going to be really hard to see the difference of those grass tiles.
Water Cave, not a lot going on. You can fight green dragons, which are pretty good for XP. These mummies, pretty good for gil. There's some nightmares that can... There's the horses that can kick you and kill you. And then there's some birds that will death gaze you to death. As you can tell by the name.
You're forgetting about the golems. Golems really good for experience, but usually take at least 2 spells to clear. Usually not worth our time.
Yeah, I run from them. Honestly, the only golems I've really seen die in this tournament. People have told me that their golems have died in other places, but when Thunderclad class promoted and had flares, that was kind of the only time I saw anybody fight them. Not going to see any flares today, unfortunately.
I mean, we still have a chance to see it, but with this conventional route, I would expect not, especially how close this race is.
Right, class promotion is kind of a meme for the speedrun, so these runners don't have the room to dab right now.
Yeah, kind of equivalent for those of you Final Fantasy IX. There's a difference between a Tentarian route and a non-Tentarian route. Tentarian route allows auto haste. Here's your equivalent, where it takes some time to do this extra thing, in this case, class promotion, but will save you time in the end game. So you can speed up, but ultimately probably will lose you a few minutes. So not worth taking here in the current speedrun meta.
Sadly, I did not quite catch Leggy's buys. Usually we buy the 2 Blizzaga. Some people buy 1 Blizzaga. And then I believe Leggy buys the Protect Rings too. We'll see. In the caravan, I do want to point out we buy the Giant Tonics and we also buy Speed Tonics. Both are pretty useful for the end game. Speed Tonics sort of less so, but can really help us out, right?
Definitely. Those speed rings get 2 extra hits every time we throw them for that one fight, so it can really speed up, giving us max hits on our monk for chaos.
There's an obscene amount of money for Patorikku right now. Goes ahead and buys all 3 Protect Rings. And just a little bit of absorption reduces any damage that you're taking. Just make everybody a little bit tankier. Gonna max out on high potions, up to 82 ethers. Probably get you through the rest of the game.
You catch the Phoenix Downs, because I know that Phoenix Downs is usually the limiting factor in whether or not you have to go back and buy again.
It seemed like they really slammed them.
Okay.
We'll check in. I didn't see him. Leggystarscream talking to the ghost mermaid and getting into the submarine, heading down to Sea Shrine. What are we looking for in Sea Shrine, Captain?
Well, Sea Shrine, we're looking for a few things here. We're looking to essentially grab the secret to talking to some people later on. Looking to grab the best defense item in the game. Looking to grab the best attack item in the game, potentially. And then also looking to grab that second ribbon.
In terms of fights, what are we thinking for the combat that we're going to see?
Well, we have a lot of different fights here. By now we have that Thundaga and Blizzaga. Most things going to go down one round of Thundaga. Pretty much hoping to see big packs. Definitely not this single white shark fight. Luckily, Leggy deciding to flee here. Good decision, in my opinion. Good on experience, but one's going to take time. As we said before, 2 spell casts. A lot of good experience here, but that one's definitely not good. I guess if you want to consider it spell by spell for how much experience you would get out of that fight.
Back to that tide that you're losing, do you have to, when you're menuing, right, to, using an extra spell charge, that's an extra ether charge, that's an extra menu that you're going to have to throw out. Luckily, it's not too bad in Sea Shrine since, as we said, if you're switching between the Thundaras for the sharks and then Thundagas for everything else, go a long way, especially when you get the Blizzagas. Some people don't run Blizzagas at all. I like the Blizzagas just because it saves me some menuing time. But we see Patorikku dodging the 1 white shark as well.
Definitely. By now, he should have 4 Thundagas, 6 Thunderous, and 3 Blizzagas, somewhere around there. So we have a lot of different spells, 2 mages, so times that by 2. We could get away with maybe menuing twice here. If we get hit a bunch, I mean, it gives us opportunity to re-up our ethers, but with Blizzaga, we definitely are able to get away with a lot less menuing.
A lot of things hit pretty hard, but when you have 247 health on Air Black Mage, you can also get all the way with not healing too often.
Oh yeah, especially with that Diamond Armlet. Put that Diamond Armlet on, most things are going to do 10 or less damage to physical attack on whatever mage you put it on, so pretty much not much to worry about once we pop that on.
Patorikku, just a few steps behind, grabs that Rosetta Stone promo code. That's a year of free lessons for Luthenian. We're going to take all those lessons in about 15 seconds. But that's all we needed on this side. Now we have to go back to the first floor, go down the left side.
Here's one of those good fights. Water Elementals. The only thing that really needs Blizzaga, Thundagas you'll need too. So pretty much the only fight we want to have at least 1 Blizzaga user on our team. Gonna be one of the best encounters with 2,000 experience per Water Elemental.
some ghosts, just in case you forgot how to cast fire spells. Just keep you on your toes a little bit.
A lot of white sharks.
How are you feeling about the pace that we're setting right now? I feel pretty good about both their times going right into this right now.
Yeah, feels really nice for getting close to that sub 2. I mean, we want to be out of here probably no later than 1:30. It will give us a good opportunity to see those sub 2 chaos kills should chaos decide to agree with us murdering him.
Sub 2 is the big wall that we see, I feel like, on the speedrun boards. I mean, a great run is about 205 to 210. Good runs to 210 to 15. And then, like, the truly impressive runs are those sub 2 hours, I feel like. Only the 10 people on the leaderboard below 2 hours right now. Or
Yep.
maybe 11 now with Hab.
Oh, that's... Let me actually check. Let's do a little fact checking here.
I know Leggy and Hab have both hit sub 2 hours on this this tournament.
Looks
Leggy
like
was just over 2.
Looks like there's actually a Japanese runner that submitted a time that got approved today. So we're looking at actually the top 12 slots being sub 2 hours.
I gotta get there. There's a pie in my freezer that I said I wouldn't eat until I got sub 2 hours, and gotta get rid of that pie.
What type of pie is it?
Chocolate pie. I love chocolate, and you know, Thanksgiving's coming up. I need that freezer. All right, we grab our second ribbon. We grab the Giant's glove for Leggy Starscream. And we need one more ribbon, and then we got basically all the items we're gonna need.
We're looking a little low on HP on Leggy's screen. Probably not really liking having that at the moment.
No, there's a lot of great XP that you can find from these fights here, so you get a lot of levels, a lot of catch up here, but we just got, this is basically the last floor, and not getting really great fights, not a lot of enemies. Ooh, big hit on the patorikku.
Luckily we have those Phoenix Downs, not as detrimental as early game. Not going to see a reset.
No, certainly not. It looks like, what, 16 Phoenix Downs left?
Yep, probably in a really good position to not have to go again. I know doing kind of some of the math, you're looking to have at least 12 going into the end game. The more, the merrier. So Pat could very well not have to shop again.
Yeah, what you're thinking is you basically plan. We'll go into the Temple of Fiends in the past, and you basically plan for every single Fiend fight. You have to fight all the Fiends again, spoiler alert. Pretty much every Fiend fight, pretty much plan for both of your Black Mages to die.
Yep, and with 4 Fiend fights, that's 8 Phoenix Downs. Gives you a few to get through the some of those long floors without having to reset. So 16 is probably right on the edge of where I would feel comfortable. And don't forget, we still have 2 Fiend areas to go through before we head off into the Chaos Run.
Totally right. Leggy Starscream, on to Kraken. Pretty easy fight. What can we fear from Kraken?
Well, nothing we can really fear for a reset, should our runners decide not to YOLO, but we're pretty much worried about Kraken doing those physical hits. At this stage in the game, going to do probably about 300 damage, somewhere around there. One-shotting any mage. No AoE spell, so if we get good turn order, we can just throw another Phoenix down, get back up, and keep going. So not really scary fight here.
That's Calamari for Leggy Starscream. Really just the physical hits and ink, but even if he inks us, which he can't because we have ribbons on, and I guess those cover our eyes, they blind us, but we're mages, so who cares? Yeah.
Yep, so not really much to worry about here. We're actually hoping for those inks. That's going to be a quick turn compared to getting punched in the face.
All right, now I expect Leggy gonna head down to Melmond and then probably to Elfheim. Pick up that haste. We see the fight for Patorikku. Over for no whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Oh, unfortunate pathing. Accidentally exited moment.
Oh. I hate to say this, but that's actually 3 times that's happened to Leggy this one. Hate to count on her. Boom. Grabs that second silver armor. This is a good time to buy it if you didn't buy it before. We talk to this guy. He shoves us against a wall and teaches us a new language.
Always my favorite part of the run. So we need to learn Lufinian to be able to talk to them to basically extort them for a way to get back into their city that they abandoned. Spoiler alert, Tiamat took it over.
Oops. Oops, a dragon.
Kraken going down on Pat's screen.
Ooh. The controversial walking the left way around the altar. Don't see that a lot. Leggy Starscream stopping off in Elfheim, grabbing that haste, just like I said. Gonna need that. So haste doubles the amount of hits that you get. Monks already get double hits. So as Captain said earlier, those speed drinks adding 2 punches, but with a monk, that's 4 punches. Trying to get up to that 32 max punches.
And we're seeing that volcano before Flying Fortress, so most likely we'll see both runners using the same pathing for the route.
Here in Mount Gulug, not a lot of fights you need to take. Well, none you need to take. Probably we'll see very few fights taken at all. Maybe some fire elementals. Ooh, beautiful pathing by Leggy Starscream. You love to see it.
Yep, the one floor where you can skip every single... Well, I guess there's another one. But the only one where you actually have to avoid tiles. So if you can avoid that top floor, that just means a lot for controller stick control. Really nice
lava
to see.
here. Floor's literally lava in Mount Gulug, and as long as you're standing on lava, you cannot get a random encounter. So if you just walk on lava the whole time, yeah, you're taking damage, but you're not taking fights.
Yeah, and everything here, not really given much experience as we talked about. Maybe take a red dragon fight for Leggy, but probably just going to decide to flee everything since Tiamat's Fortress and also the Temple of Fiends going to give a lot more chances to get a lot more experience. So pretty much a waste of our time to take anything here at all.
Ooh, Patorikku gets the encounter on the perfect floor. I can never make it through this without getting encounters. It's a beautiful thing to see the perfect floor, but it is tough.
Yeah, hard to do. By pretty much halfway through the floor, if you touch one of those regular tiles, you're going to get that encounter.
Because your step counter, like we said, there's no like actual step counter, but it's sort of building up to that, what you said, 25 to 35 steps. And before you start, every step you take, more likely to get an encounter. So it's still building up while you're on those lava tiles. So basically, as soon as you step onto a non-lava tile, time for encounters.
Yep. Every step you take, every move you make, the step counter is counting those steps. What's nice about this floor that Pat's on is there's so many steps here, you're pretty much, as long as you don't touch land, you're going to clear that encounter that's saved for your next step, giving you a lot of free steps on this next floor.
Right. If the next step you take would be an encounter, and then you step onto a stair or go to a different zone, then that resets the whole random encounter. So you're building up all these steps on the lava, and then you reset it.
We're playing the any percent version here, but there is or essentially you can consider this more of the glitchless. This is more in line with the glitchless category. There's a true 80% where there is an old glitch, I think it's been patched, but called the Goblin glitch, where knowing where that next step is, you can actually trick the game into loading a 4 goblins encounter. This will work on pretty much any encounter, so we could, instead of seeing Malireth go down on the screen, we could be taking on 4 goblins.
Is that what that glitch is? I've always seen it, and I've been, what is it? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. We can load it in for everyone up to Chaos. So once we get to Chaos, we can see 4 goblins. And the weird thing about the game is, once you go into the fight, should you get out of that fight, no matter what, if it's a kill screen or fleeing, the game's like, okay, you won. So you don't even have to kill the goblins in that last instance to win the game. Pretty nutty.
But I want to see Chaos die. So I'm glad we're doing this one.
Yep. Definitely the more popular version is the category we're running now. Only one current entry up on that glitched board. I think just because mostly it's just a meme at this point, and as I said earlier, probably not able to do anymore.
Yeah, I think I did hear that they patched it. Here we're seeing patorikku do the Marilith. We kind of just skipped over Leggy doing it, but we're seeing basically the philosophy of the Fiend fights for the rest of the game.
Yep, which is buff and punch. Buff and punch. With Malireth here being supposed to be taken earlier on, it's going to have the lowest actual HP we're going to see after Lich. Only thing that can go wrong is what just happened. The death from that monk.
She's got a bunch of swords, and she knows how to use them. She's only got 1440 health, so pretty easy to kill, but she's pretty resistant to magic. You could blast her down with 6 casts of Blizzaga, but trying to do the au natural moment. We use Giant's Glove on the monk, then we haste them and temper them unless we die.
Yeah, so the very rare bad carry one here. What happens if that monk goes down, loses any Giant's Tonic buff for max HP, loses any tempers, any Giant's gloves? So if we do get them back up, it's just going to be a reset. Pat, early on, looks like tried to use a Phoenix down, but just not working out with those fire casts. So it looks like choosing to reset by having the Black Mages just defend die here.
Yeah, seems like he played a little bit greedy, didn't throw Ether, so has no Blizzaga cast, which again, you can kill her with.
Meanwhile, that lady entering the Mirage Tower.
Earthquake is an instant kill. Ribbons give you immunity to it, but you only have the 2.
Yep, one of the downsides of going to Volcano first is you do pick up that monk. Otherwise, you'd pick up that monk later on here in the fortress. Keeping him safe for the majority of the way. Going to Mount Glug, we pick him up early. Still susceptible without that ribbon.
There's no luck. You'll see a slight difference, a variation in our 2 runners. You'll see that leggystarscream has moved their monk to the 3rd position. As we talked about earlier, only a 12.5% chance of being targeted by single target abilities in that 3rd position. Unlucky for patorikku. You're seeing that in that 2nd position, 25% chance of being targeted by single target abilities, and Marilith is making that 25% look like 100%. Oh, the Black Mage survives an auto attack. I say auto attack because I'm thinking of League, but
yeah, hard to see. I'm not sure if that monk has the Diamond Armlet at this point either. Nope, it looks like that is how that mage survived. Because it had the Diamond Armlet, could tank a very tanky physical attack. So that monk now having it on patch screen, this fight should go a lot differently this 3rd time around.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it here, I'd even move the ribbon over. You know, unlucky with that hold. Would have resisted it with the ribbon. But again, as we said, since you did this first, you don't have that 3rd ribbon that you grab in Flying Fortress. So susceptible to status effects. See, the blue dragon goes down to 2 Blizzagas, but you got the monk up, so might as well 1 Blizzaga, 1 Thundaga, and punch.
All right.
Patorikku's got enough. Probably swings right here. Heals just for safety.
Yeah, probably just wants to get through this fight, having
One shot.
wiped twice. Not a fight you usually wipe to, so definitely annoying when you do.
Had all that good luck at the beginning of the race, and hopefully that is the only time that he'll be punished for it.
Yeah, we'll see. He still has the HP advantage over Leggy. Leggy might have to take some of these encounters where Pat can flee. So, I mean, there's still time with the difference in the flee fight tactics here. We could see Pat make up some time, and then, you know, anything can happen at Chaos. Anyone's game.
Yeah. A lot of the second round fiends are dangerous in their own right. Lich learns Flare, which can be fun. Kraken gets more spells. They can go kind of bad.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even Tiamat here is going to be tough for Leggy.
Yeah, with AoE spells, most doing the mid to low hundreds. 2 of those spells are going to take out the majority of her team. Where Pat would be able to survive up to 3. Monk health, though, looking really nice on Leggy Scream, seeing that 301. So not an entirely bad spot HP-wise. Monk's probably going to make up for these Black Mages being low.
Well, that always hurts. When you get the spell off, but it doesn't kill, and then you flee. Ugh.
Yeah, it hurts to see, but I mean, ultimately you're saving time. Don't have to sit through that kill screen. Don't have to sit through that second spell. But if you're really looking for that, I mean, should have just defended beforehand. But it's always nice for some of these fights. Clear a few enemies out, make it easier to flee in the long scheme of things.
Yeah, really struggling to flee. You know, that's always frustrating. When it's just you're just sitting there waiting, and just the rolls don't come for you.
Yeah, gonna do a quick save here. I know in the desert, very bad. Allosaur's probably the encounter you want to see. You can see like 2 desert Baratas here that can one swipe everybody. This Allosaurus doing obviously a lot less with that 66. Not as good of an experience, but better encounter to see as you usually see one here in the desert.
We're all holding our breath for Leggy. This is a dangerous floor.
Rokeby also holding their breath, probably for a different reason here. You can see the Warmech on this floor. You usually have 2, maybe 3 encounters, depending on what happens here. Leggy looking to get through it without seeing Warmech. Very rare encounter.
Lots of vampires right before the transition.
Oh, definitely. Vampires can be scary in their own right, but Warmech ultimately being the scariest encounter to see here.
Alright, Tiamat does big AoE, can bite pretty hard. Depending on turn order. Oh, okay. Survive it, that's pretty fine. Should survive any AoE, so you just throw a high potion. Should be pretty fine with that.
Nice storm here.
Yeah. What do you think? One more round of buffs, or you just start swinging here?
Yeah, maybe 1 buff, hit an attack, hit a high potion, just like Leggy did.
Ooh.
Well, that's rough to see. That 150. Oh. That's what happens on Tiamat. I mean, sometimes you want to be a little bit heavier handed on those high potions. Leggy choosing the middle ground, just not working out.
What do we got for HP? 2,400 HP on Tiamat.
2,400 should be done in 2 hits. Meanwhile, Pat able to use that warp cube to get up into the flying fortress on Leggy's heels at this point.
on, Leggy. Good RNG. Good. Tiamat swings on the stoned character. Get all those high potions off. Should have no trouble from here.
Yeah, love to see physical attacks on anybody but the monk here. Would even take a death on one of the mages at this point.
Easy peasy. Almost perfect damage too. I think just barely hit that 2400 on the 2 swings.
Yeah, with bad turn order, if you decide to take those early hits, could under damage. So usually like to wait after 2 buffs, but can be a little bit risky as we see, where Tiamat could get some nice AoE spells and clear out those black mages and then finish off that monk.
Tiamat hits the mat for Leggy Starscream, but no time to rest now. Again, patorikku right there. Poseidon has enough health, gonna flee from everything. That's gonna cut down on time. He's running. He's coming.
Yep, 3 more floors here for Pat, and then we'll be right on to Tiamat. The regular Bratis still can hit pretty hard, as we see almost 200 damage. Can be pretty scary coming out here.
Alright, Leggy, head straight there. Looks like it. No more shopping. It's time to kill Chaos.
Yeah.
Off we go to the past.
No encounter in Chaos Shrine. You can see encounter here can be kind of annoying. You can get a 9-pack of goblins, and believe it or not, even though you're much higher level than them, they can still decline you from fleeing. Should you choose to all flee here?
If I take a fight in Chaos Shrine, I know that it's a time loss, but I'll always fight him. Just out of pure spite. I'll kill him.
The other side of the coin, not getting one, we get pretty much almost right out the gate, get another encounter. Pretty much destined to get at least 2. These white dragons, a little bit scary, but as you see, they're only doing about 50 damage. We should be able to either flee or Farago without anything. So these white dragons are a lot less scarier than before with these ribbons. Ribbons making a lot of difference.
Yeah, give you resistance to pretty much all elements. There's a few that they don't, and all status effects. Again, a few that they don't quite do. Speaking specifically about Chaos's Cyclone and Tsunami, which can do quite a lot of damage still. That's why you need about 30 more HP or more for those 2 Black Mages for Leggy Starscream.
Meanwhile, Pat on Tiamat 1, able to get off some good here. An AoE spell, but as we see, everybody's still sitting around 200 health. Just a big difference of having better health rolls, making this fight a lot cleaner.
Oof. Takes a big bite out of Crime. Crime being that one Black Mage. Oh, his friends call him Crime.
$772 for first hit.
Not a great punch.
Oh, and that physical attack here. It's going to take 1 more. Good turn order.
Oh.
All right.
I rolled the poison, but still managed to survive it. We see Leggy grab the elixir and then play that funky music fighter, you know? We finally used that loot we got 4 minutes into the game.
Yep, immediately use that crowbar. Pick up that second tile.
Smash your guitar into this seal down to the bottom of the Chaos Shrine. Yeah, we see Leggy starting to split decision. Maybe wants to take a few more of these fights, get a little more levels.
Yeah, Mage is looking a little bit low. They'll be able to survive pretty much everything other than that Cyclone and Tsunami. It's going to get pretty close to possibly wiping them. We always like to see 2 things for the 2400. We get to see survive those 2 spells. Pretty much the only thing taking us out is going to be Flare. Also, any Thundaga spells can usually survive 2 in a row. So 2400 being a nice magical number for us gets us a few different options for at least surviving 1 round, if not 2.
Yeah, looks like Leggy just hit level 26, I believe. Just high roll. Got their last guaranteed strong HP up of the run. Any other levels past this, it's just going to be a 1 in 8 chance to get those HP rolls. So probably thinking we just get to fleeing. We save the time.
Yep, you can have your black mages be in the 300s, high 300s here, and Chaos still decide you're going down first, 400 HP mage. So it's a nice to have, but in the terms of time in a race, it's not a got to have.
Exactly. Chaos is going to decide to do what Chaos is going to do, and you can try your best. Sometimes you won't succeed. Might as well just get there as fast as possible so you can not succeed maybe one extra time before Patorikku catches up.
I've taken one of the fights that I like. The Chimeras also sometimes have Rioses in the pack. Really strong experience. One Blizzaga taking him down. He was able to get an extra level up on that that first mage. We're seeing some nice high 280s. Probably trying to get that monk a little bit higher before Chaos.
Is it what, 301? 314.
314 now. So get in there, get some good.
You're looking for a lot of RNG near this part for the monk's levels. I mean, the last guaranteed level up for the monk, level 24, and then you have nothing till 30.
Here we are on Lich 2 for Leggy. Lich not being as bad on spells. The only one we don't hope to see is Flare, which will probably come next turn because I said it.
Yeah, oh, nope, dodged it. Woo, no caster curse this time. Pretty much all of the secondary... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's fine. It's okay.
So, like, what we see there, having a little bit extra HP on that that monk, able to finish up that fight. It's pretty much typical here is what you're going to see is that monk being the only one left alive in these fights, where those mages taking a dirt nap.
Who needs them? They got their buffs up. Pretty much all of the secondary themes, you need basically 3 tempers, a haste, 2 giant's gloves, and then 2 punches, and they're down.
Red Dragons, nice fight to take.
Hits the Blizzaga.
Yep. Gets that Blizzaga. So we see we're missing those flees. Anytime the game seems to lull, that means that the character is deciding to flee, and then they're missing that flee attempt. And in this version as well, we see those preempts. Like, you got a nice preemptive flee, but even with the preempts, you can fail those flee checks.
Ridiculous.
We do that lull, we've missed at least 1 flee check.
See Patorikku healing before the stairs, always a good idea, because again, the stairs give us a little autosave. Good little best practices. And Meryl too. Still got those swords.
Yep, still got those swords, being a lot more detrimental before. With Diamond's Armlet, would be able to survive some punches. Here, Malirith can just punch down the line. It could get pretty nasty sometimes.
Alright, swings on the stoned guy. Gotta be pretty frustrating that they can't kill a target with 1 HP. If you're wondering, oh, swings again. If you're wondering, on spiky ice tiles and lava tiles, even if you're stoned, you still take damage, but you never die. So, gets you down to 1 health.
Alright, we're on the Sea Shrine floor. Last chance to get some good experience. We're going to see those same kind of encounters we saw in Sea Shrine. Bigger packs this time. So still have the good experience rate with the bigger pack. Can be kind of annoying, and we're going to get quite a few of them. So, ooh, this is a fight I like to take. 6 water elementals, that's 12,000 experience. That's 3,000 experience per here, and that's usually at least half a level. You have a good chance of getting a level here should you get it off. I'm glad Leggy was able to get that level up.
Yeah, they hit pretty hard too, so with that many of them, it can go bad. Oh, we see the flare right off the bat, but there's that extra health coming in handy. survives the Lich Flare. Not going to happen with Chaos's Flare.
Yeah, pretty weak on those physical attacks. One hit.
Ooh, can't kill me. I've got a pretty ribbon on.
Nice, no flare. This should do it.
What are the chances they all have ribbons? Meanwhile, Leggy onto Kraken 2, a little harder than the first Kraken.
Yep, pretty much going to be able to do the same thing as Carry 2 here. Going to be able to just punch down the line. Should Kraken aside to get handsy here, or tentacly, if you will.
Oh, and I will.
We see a lovely ink, still not able to do anything here.
It's free real estate. There it is again.
Beautiful. Love to see it.
Gotta work one of these times, right? Keep it up. Keep it up. Come on. Oh, there's the big
on that
punch.
mage. As we said earlier, just even getting that mage up here is going to cause us to essentially reset on the buffing. So could choose to do it since Kraken's still in that area of not really AoE caster.
A good turn order there. Not guaranteed to get the Phoenix down before the high potion, but does get the good turn order. Manages it. Gonna have to put everything back on though. 4 turns total to at your best. Okay, Maryland's just beating up that black mage. So, who cares? They already did their job. They can die all they want. An Odyssey Shrine. Long floor. Just a long floor.
Oh, Kraken leaving the bottom mage and inch of his life with 1 health. Wow.
You'll love to see it.
Meanwhile, really probably the best encounter you can get here. 2 Water Nagas, 6 Elementals. That is a total of... what was that? Was that 16 to 18,000 experience? And another one. I believe those are worth at least either 3,000 or 4,000 experience. Takes 2 spells, but this is pound for pound best fight you can get in the game, other than getting 4 green dragons.
I'm gonna get it twice. If they can get turn order to let them cast the spells. Tiamat 2, the plan remains the same. Temper, Giant's Glove, Haste, Giant's Glove, 2 Tempers, start punching.
Tiamat 2 being kind of a pushover here, being so hard in the first case. The past version looks to be a lot weaker, looks to have buffed up across the years, so coming in earlier, we're seeing a lot of those level 2 spells, which are going to do hardly anything to our high HP. Love to see those. Still has some higher level ones, but pretty much overall, it's the same thing. Hope not to get punched. Tiamat here having 5,500 HP, so usually 3 hits will do the trick. Maybe 4 in this scenario.
Yeah, if you're healing, because, I mean, probably survived the bite with the diamond armlet on, but Andara, just child's play.
Alright, one random encounter is the break here between Leggy and Chaos. Meanwhile, Patorikku having 2 encounters here after having to take on Kraken.
Yeah, you'll fight Kraken, then there's one encounter on Tiamat's floor, okay, you fight Tiamat, 1 encounter here on Chaos's floor, and then the casino boss himself. Alright, make sure we're all topped up, get all our ethers, get everything, all our ducks in a row, big quick save, and then we fight.
Leggy should be able to have enough time here to get at least one free, if we don't first turn it. One free total one, and then probably sync up with patorikku. Maybe two if they're quicker. But Leggy getting first dibs on this race end as Kraken goes down and patorikku scream.
It's tough. Chaos is a tough fight. He can kind of just decide to kill you first turn. He can decide to kill you second turn. He can decide to kill you third turn. Or he can go pretty well. But we have a lot of basically setup that we need to do, right? Ooh, you don't want to see that.
Yep, so 220 there. That's why we want to have those high HPs, but we see those giant tonics early on, trying to get us close to that 999 if we can. Gonna throw an X potion, hopefully throw in a haste.
No.
It's gonna be a wipe.
Chaos makes it quick.
Yep, quick one. Leggy will be able to try again here before Pat is even on to Chaos. So what we're hoping to see here is pretty much the bare minimum is those giant tonics, a haste, and X potion or elixir thrown. That will get the monk up to top. The monk cannot buff a haste, but can get pretty good buffs with those giant's gloves. So pretty much 2 turns here with the mages will get us where we want to be. If we do decide, some people like to get that haste off turn 3, which Leggy might have been queuing up to do. We'll see here what's decided this turn.
Yeah, a little bit easier on the damage that first turn. We're on the speed drink.
Yeah, Blizzara, the lowest AOL.
Oh,
okay, well.
gosh. Oh, gosh.
But making it quick, giving Leggy another try.
This is actually very generous of Chaos. It's tough to die, but sometimes you'll just drag it out. And when you're in a race situation, you want these quick resets. You're expecting to lose to Chaos a couple times, 2, 3, 4 times, and then before you get it. So that's all factored in. It's too bad to not get the below 2 hours, but
here we are.
This is why it's so hard to get it.
Leggy's able to get on this 3rd attempt. Pat's going to be right behind. Now it's really going to come down to what Chaos decides.
Oh, Tsunami. Ugh. Again, ribbons do not give you resistance to Tsunami or Cyclones. Seeing them first turn, it's tough. Oh, the flare for patorikku from the Dark Death Knights.
Well, I think it's one of those situations, though, where you want to see a flare, because it's almost the game saying, here's your flare, Chaos is just gonna hold us in reserve.
Yeah, what you really want, Chaos, you want Chaos punching the stoned guy, casting his lower level spells, or, you know, punching the mages after they get their spells off, right?
Here we are, 4th try Leggy, and first try patorikku. The statistics are definitely on Leggy's side right now.
For sure. But they're going into it at the same time. Okay, let's see how patorikku sort of does his setup. There's a little bit of variation you can have. He does the 3 jet. Okay.
Ooh, flare opener, making it quick. Getting that first wipe in out of the way, kind of just paying the dues at this point.
Ooh, we like that.
Slow-ra. Yeah, so Chaos has a few things to kind of troll us. Slow-ra on the monk at this point would cause us to have to throw a couple more extra haste. Curaja, to cure up his health later on, is kind of bad. But also giving himself haste, where he can one punch and decide this fight's over, even if we are ourselves one punch away from victory.
Right, his physical attack does between 400 and 500 damage, and then if he gives himself haste, he punches twice, as we said, and so he can, any time you drop below 900, you basically need to heal up again. We see just spamming sabers. The best thing to do is get to about 100 additional attack. Ooh, there's a big hit. Probably heal here.
Getting some good first turns, 2 free first turns.
Ooh, good turn order for that Tsunami before the elixir.
That having a little bit of an advantage.
Like he's swinging. 3K. That's good damage.
Love to see those blazes here.
A couple more hits. One more hit. Decides to heal. Good thought. Blizzara. No contest. Oh, low rolls it. There
And
it
down
is.
on Leggy's screen. Wow.
Oh, tight.
Where Pat is having probably the best chaos you could have here, but just not getting those early attempts in. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, Leggy played it perfectly safely. Oh, look at those big hits from patorikku. Maybe even overbuffed at this point. One more does
Haste.
it.
Don't want to see that haste. But down
Ooh,
anyways.
good.
Wow, a difference of 35 seconds.
Oh, that's tough. Oh,
I think this is the third race Pat has had where he didn't go in first this time. I know he's went in first the other times. But a race where it's been super close.
GG to both the runners. Incredible runs, incredible times. As I said, great runs like 205, 210, and they're both down below 205. It's beautiful. These are really talented, really smart runners, and they did great.
Wow. We didn't even get to talk about the chaos fights. They came so quick, but those ones, that's what you want to see on Pat's screen. Not so much on Leggy's screen. The last one you want to see that Leggy was able to pull out there. But shows a difference, a 2-try on Pat's screen compared to Leggy's. When there was a few minutes, I believe, time gap at some point. Pat was able to make that all up with just a better chaos.
Right, yeah. But at the same time, you're going to be thinking, you know, if that Marilith, who you never see be a problem, that Marilith 1, it's going to feel bad to run into that. Leggy,
Definitely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Of 35 seconds, the hair of your chinny chin chin, how are you feeling?
I didn't even realize I dodged the bullet because I got up to use the restroom.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The same fight. You both went into the fight the same time and just pulling it off just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I believe it was a 4th try on yours compared to Pat's first try, and just basically synced up there.
Yeah.
Congratulations, patorikku.
Of course.
Just a couple seconds off.
I'm glad my first 3 wipes were as fast as they were, because otherwise this would have gone the other way in a split.
Yeah, we were talking about Chaos being pretty sweet and kind to you, just killing you second round over and over again.
Yeah.
patorikku,
Anyway.
let me talk to you, patorikku, real quick. How are you feeling? Just 35 seconds off. Are you feeling pain for that Marilith 1?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Well, I know a little bit about what happened there. I forgot to put the diamond armlet on him. So that kind of messed me up a couple times. But yeah, that was a rude fight, man. I lost like 3 minutes on that alone. It's like, wow. She just would not let me keep my black belt alive. That was tough.
Almost like she knew that he didn't have the diamond armlet on.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the game feels like it knows sometimes.
Leggy, overall thoughts on your run today? It looked pretty nice, I'll say.
I mean, I would have preferred a slightly nicer Pisco Demon fight.
Well, yes, that is true. Waited a long time for that preemptive. Had a bunch of resets in Marsh Cave for you.
Like, I would have been fine if I had gotten away with any of them with, okay, you know, only one character's dead, I can take that. But when I've already used the Phoenix down and I got 2 characters down, I'm like, nah, that's not worth it.
patorikku, meanwhile, kind of living on the opposite side of the coin, had more money than he knew what to do with at the early game. How are you feeling about your early game?
Yeah, it was. I did a lot more grinding before I actually headed down into Marshgate, so I was doing that for levels and then money. I was actually hoping I'd have enough money to get 2 Thundaras, but it just never materialized. But both of my mages were like level 8 or so. Like early game, I had some really good levels on my mages, and most of that was just because I grinded before I headed down into the Pisco Demon fight. And then the Pisco Demon fight itself was pretty good because the mage, I usually have one mage do Thundara and like the other 3 characters attack. And the mage that
Right.
did Thundara wiped out like I think almost all of them. Like there was one that I got an attack on, and I did need it, but that was a really good fight.
Nice.
Certainly a tale of 2 marsh caves for both of you, and then you were neck and neck for pretty much the entire run after that, just kind of falling behind on that Merilith, and then catching right back up in the Chaos Shrine. It's just a really great, clean run from both of you. Pretty smart Chaos fights. Patorikku, how do you feel about your Chaos fight?
This is real good. Like the first one, you know, he opened up with Flare.
Right.
I mean, that's fine because he just, if it's the first attack, I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. I don't really mind that much. And then the second one, he like, oh man, I was hitting, one of my hits with the black belt was 6,500 damage. Like it took me 4 hits because every hit was like was at least like around 5,000 or greater. Like it, I got so many tempers off on the black belt, and then I was able to also get all 3 speed drinks off as well. And usually it's like in that fight, I'm lucky if I get 1 temper off. So.
Right. Yeah, no, my first 3 chaos fights were, okay, he hits me with a big AoE, I'm gonna go for the elixir, and everyone's down before I even get a turn on the second round. So, like...
Yeah, he was a lot kinder to me today.
Yeah.
Lucky I didn't have to deal with any of that.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'll take a round 2 wipe, because it's about as fast as Chaos can wipe you unless he high rolls a nuke turn 1.
Yeah, as long as he does it quick, right? It's the ones where, you know, he lets you get in like 4 or 5 hits with the black belt, and then, you know, all of a sudden he hastes himself and next turn punches your black belt dead. Like, those are the ones that really annoy me.
Yeah, especially when you're like, okay, he went for haste, I'm at like 500 HP, I'm gonna go for the elixir, and no.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Overall, I feel really good about my run. I felt like I was within a reasonable shot of hitting a PB if the stars aligned.
Yeah, just so close to breaking the 2-hour barrier for you, definitely. I do say you did, and maybe you didn't even notice this, you did forget to buy Fyra, though, early on.
Yeah. Calculated.
So all right, but you did get the silver armlet first. Do you usually save for the silver armlet? A lot of people have different opinions on the silver armlet before Earth Cave.
So with the amount of money I had at the Corneria shop, I felt comfortable doing it. Like, I bought my 20 ethers and 30 potions and, you know, safety Phoenix Downs and gold needles, and I'm like, alright, I still got 2,500 left. Cool, that's enough for the silver armlet, let's go pick it up. If I've got any less money than in there, I'll probably just dump it all into consumables. But with that, basically with that exact amount, I commit to the play.
And it worked well. I mean, you were rolling really low on your health rolls for your mages. How are you feeling about that? We were all kind of... It's kind of scary going into Chaos Shrine, whereas Patorikku, almost 300 on his mages.
They were fine. Like, you know, I felt very comfortable with my HP totals once we started getting into Sea Shrine. Like, that's about what I expect. That's about where I've practiced. It's where I'm comfortable.
Oh, well, perfect. Interesting then. Okay. Well, that's great. We were worried over here, but as I said, you're a much better runner than me. You know a little bit more. Know your levels, your thresholds. Good that you're calm, cool, collected throughout. It really showed. It was a clean race. I believe you did a perfect Mount Gulag floor where you dodged the little steps. Always love to see it. It's always beautiful to see. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that is something I've been practicing a lot, and I'm still not good at.
Well, congratulations on nailing it today, and congratulations on winning your race. I'm not sure if the standings are updated. Does this put you at 3-1?
Yes.
Okay, so one more race. Who do you have left?
I'd have to... Let me check. Honestly...
You should have two left, though, right? Because our group has 7 people in it, so everyone has to
Right,
get 6
yeah.
races.
Oh, 2 left. Right, you're right.
Yeah, because now I am 2-3, and then my last race is tomorrow against Rokubi.
Will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not announced which SpeedGaming channel it's going to be on yet, but we're going to want to watch that one. Going to be a pretty good one. Are you thinking going standard? Are you going to bring out anything new? Or just play your game?
Might break out the thief strats.
Oh, let's go!
A thief and a coral sword. Let's see how far I can get.
Don't forget the dream. Gotta have the dream.
Oh yeah.
Leggy, nothing's scheduled yet, but next week or so.
Yeah, hopefully. I've got the next week off work, so I'll be able to get my races in with Captain and Rokubi.
Oh, fantastic.
And then, yeah, at that point, I believe Hobbs still undefeated, and he's the only one I've lost to so far. So, you know, if you're gonna go down to somebody, you might as well go down to the champ.
To the person who beat everyone, yeah, it's tough to feel bad about that, you know. What can you do? Well, I look forward to those. I always love watching both of you race. Love watching both of you commentate as well. You're both very intelligent runners, and that showed throughout this whole run. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts from you, Leggy, before we say goodbye?
This game is great. If you in chat, I'm talking to you, want to learn how to run it, feel free to come join the Discord. It's super friendly, and this run is just a blast.
Patorikku, any thoughts?
Yeah, just definitely echo what Leggy said. We've had a lot of new runners lately, so feel free to hop in, pick up the run. It can be a lot of fun. It can be a little frustrating sometimes. And I do also want to throw out there that apparently I'm always involved in the really, really close races. Because this one was, what, like 30 seconds? And I think one of my runs over the weekend was less than a minute. It's like I keep on. I'm so close. I'm so close. But very fun. Yeah.
One of these times, I gotta be here to witness you win, Patorikku. Other than the one where you totally wiped the floor with me. Other than that one, gotta see him. Captain, any thoughts for you, Captain, before we say goodbye?
No thoughts from me, other than I'm not sure if the channel's going to stick around, but we have another race here on this same channel between myself and Lukey Pookie happening here in 12 minutes.
Oh, man. I gotta go to the bathroom. All right, well, I'll see everybody who comes to that there, and I'll see Captain after it's over. Thank you so much, Leggy and Patorikku. Great race. Thanks for joining us. Be sure you follow all the runners. Be sure you follow all the commentators. And we'll see you in a little bit, everybody. Hope you have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.